Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your magical moon message. It's your boy, the Peace Dealer. Just became a Toltec initiate on my journey to become Shaman King. Yep, I've always been a shaman at birth, but this has made it official. Shout out Starry Ari. Shout out Jax Atlantis. Shout out everyone that I did this with. Yup, we in Sedona, right? Rented this amazing place. Yeah, 32 is looking good, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, moon in Capricorn, sun in Gemini. We're getting ready to close this chapter out, of course. With the passionate shui. I learned this from Christopher Witecki, owner of Soul Garden, now Serious Joy. That's a master wizard and Jedi right there. If you don't know about Christopher Witecki, do your research. That's one of the GOATs. Personally, one of my favorites. And he came up with that concept of when any planet or sun or moon, but specifically the sun, transits the last 20 degrees or the third decan of a sign, it enters its passionate shui, where you're now in the energy, passionately expressing its mastery. Shout out to the third decan Geminis. We're the crazy ones. I'm one of the June Geminis that'll let you know June Geminis is crazy. May Geminis is cool. June Geminis, we crazy as fuck. But other than that, this is an 8th house transit. Actually, it's the one I was born with. Shout out to the moon in Capricorns. 8th house is, of course, other people's resources, trust, intimacy, tax, transformation. Now that we're harvesting the full moon of this transit, this is the active function with the cardinality of both the moon of feeling and Capricorn of decision, control, and of course, grounded action. That's going to have you transform quintessentially the ideas that you sowed the seeds to. This is the opposite to the moon in Cancer, which had you feel into the sincerity of new ideas, activating this new cycle with, of course, feeling into the sincerity. Listen, many of you might have very radical concepts of how valuable you are or how you think about yourself. You really go with it. Take this crazy ass Gemini energy and go with it. Wait until Virgo season. Once you situationally contextualize this with other real people, then you can get humbled, you can balance it, but go wild. Like take it, like, trust me, like, be like a child. Gemini is like from like a 7-year-old, okay? Kanye West was a 38-year-old 8-year-old with rich nigga problems, a total legend, and now the richest black man alive, right? Okay, so like, follow your dreams, but really stay in that childlike wonder, because that's where the magic happens. And the moon in Capricorn is going to give you an incredible understanding of what is transforming regarding your behavior, which you integrated through moon in Scorpio, and regarding what you're harvesting in the form of actual supernatural abilities that at the Capricorn level will complete the practicality that moon in Taurus, Virgo, and now Capricorn will bring to its greatest level. And by greatest level, I mean your ability to be aware of your thoughts while feeling the physiological response of the mind-body connection you're transforming and aligning. This is actually one of the most difficult sun-moon connections because Capricorn is extremely focused or super focused, and you can't get Gemini to focus for shit. Like, the wind is here, there, it blows everywhere. But as incompatible as they are, I actually consider those two signs to be the most incompatible outside of Scorpio and Aries. Scorpio hates Aries. Capricorn hates Gemini. But when it aligns, they work so well together. It's so weird. And when the sex is right, the sex is right. But other than that, what's really key here is that you're going to be receptive with the influence of Pluto of this next round of awakening power. As we're going through the gauntlet, the moon, of course, will make its 2-week course through moon and Pluto, moon Saturn in Aqua, moon Neptune in Pisces, moon Jupiter in Aries and Chiron, and then moon Uranus in Taurus. Because we are finally coming out the first 3 zodiac signs, You're going to now notice more rapid development and acceleration in your progress than ever before. We're getting ready to segue into Cancer season, the land of the crabs, and easily the most special psychic and one of the most powerful signs ever. Okay? You can identify with planets, but signs are more essences. I don't know who needed to hear that message, but you're brilliant, you're amazing, and the moon in Capricorn will have you feel into how incredible you are. It's just with the moon in Pluto, be prepared to like end for good certain ways of thinking. This is going to help you tap very deeply into what's awakening now that you've harvested new magical abilities that, with the causality of Saturn karma influenced Capricorn, will have you practically be receptive to when you say something and what happens. When you do something, Moon and Cap, and what happens, Sun and Gemini. This awareness will now transform what you thought was real, because the only thing constant is change, and what changed is you. Okay, especially in your ability to connect to everything. Look at my thirst. Oh yeah, she laced this. This is my new initiatory garb. My bad, I'm feeling myself. But other than that, you really want to be mindful with that square to Jupiter and Chiron, because you need to have certain clashes to your ego to make sure that the passion that goes into how powerfully you express yourself is aligned with integrity. It's not really a coincidence that all these people are getting shot and dying, and there's so much violence with this Aries power. Don't worry, it's only going to get worse, but you're going to get stronger. You're going to get more powerful. You're going to look at the same things you used to fear. Pluto is a big aspect of fear, and it's not going to scare you because you know more who you is. Do you think I was going to say are? So yeah, keep that in mind. When it comes to dealing with psychic attack and negative projections, this is another official turning point where you're ready to make forces and influences that might have intimidated you, your BITCH. Oh, yes. And it might shock you at first, okay? The trine that we're going to have to Uranus and Taurus is going to incredibly innovate your self-concept of yourself. Gemini Sun keeps it mental, but this physiological mind-body connection with earth and air, you can't pay anyone any amount of money for the level of integration and now transformation that's coming in. Some of you literally going to unlock powers out of nowhere, but it's not out of nowhere. You planted seeds in Taurus season. You let them sprout throughout Gemini, okay? Aries was the activation. Taurus was the planning, and Gemini is the blossoming. We're going to go through this like 3 more times throughout the next 3 seasons. And this is where, for those of you who did the work, it's going to show for the rest of the year. For those of you who didn't do the work, you're going to see what you have to work on so that you can bring it to balance. Mind you, this is the last boss battle series, because by this time next year, Pluto has already touched Aquarius, and we're seeing the collapse of government structures and authorities that have reigned supreme for decades, centuries. So the fact that you're even alive now, what a time to be alive. Future Drake, I don't know what y'all waiting for. Y'all know you should have dropped 2 already. But you know, what a time to be alive. It's wow. The fact that you're here, you have to be some kind of legend to even be alive. Like, so many people did not make it here. So really take stock. Okay, it's one thing to say these things. What's up? It's one thing to say these things, you know what I'm saying? It's another thing to be receptive to how incredibly applicable every one of your thoughts connects you to everything around you. So, you know, especially with the sextile to Neptune, there's so many concepts that can't be put into words. And have faith in God, in the fact that we only have such a limited perspective, and there's so many galaxies, there's so much superclusters, there's so much out there, and even here, microscopically in the quantum level, that we may not be consciously aware of, but our soul sense. You're a soul that has a body and expresses itself through spirit. Your spirit. Every soul is unique, and thus every spirit is unique. But every spirit connects like an ocean droplet with the water. I tried to sound deep as hell right there. I might not have even made any sense. But what I do know is that as the moon comes out of Aquarius, it's going to be traveling 23, 24 degrees. Once it goes into Aquarius, as it comes out of Capricorn, 24, 23, it's going to go back into Aquarius, which is very interesting because that's how we started Gemini season. So go back to the beginning of Gemini season, where we started with having high knowledge of the truth initially. Now we're going to come back and synthesize everything we Gemini learned, and you're coming to see the same thing or similar instances leveled up like never before. Okay, remember, Jupiter was still coming out of Pisces during Taurus season. So this is a full season that we had Jupiter in Aries. And like, if you journal, if you actually log your experiences, you will see the rapid growth and evolution. You can't really see a thought process. You see it through the actions. So everything moving forward is going to be more noticeable coming into Libra season, the social dynamic, and then collectively. But knowing the truth of who you are fills you with a sense of confidence and courage that can have people project all sorts of negativity, but you glowing, so it's going to bounce off of you. Don't be tempted to stoop down to insecure people's level who need to, of course, feel better than somebody to be secure. Okay? You're not insecure. So, I'm not going to be like, fight hate with love. But when you winning, what do you need to get even for? Remember that hurt people. And you're not hurt. All right? If you are, resolve that. Open it up. Be honest with that. But you're a gangster and you're a legend. Every single one of you watching this has a legend you're fulfilling. Whether you're a Pisces or not, you do have a 12th house. So, and at some point, especially if you're 30, you've had the progress moon through Pisces. So you toured through it. Okay? Shout out to the Pisces. Sun, moon, risings, Venus, Mercury, progressed. All right. I'm currently progressed moon Pisces myself. But other than that, this transformation that harnesses such potential is going to make hyper real everything that you can do, so that once it goes into Aquarius, you come into an advanced total knowledge around everything you've transformed. This is going to be subtle at first. It's still going to take a while to fully flesh in, but I think I can say it. Can I say it? All right. You're going to see an unveiling of just more supernatural phenomena, just an extra layer of supernatural phenomena that now that you've upgraded your ability to think or create new abilities, you can use that to interface with said metaphysical influences. And it's going to add a whole world of fun. Okay. Unless, you're not yet accepting of what and who you are, it's going to be terrifying. It's going to be so terrifying because you're going to hear voices, you're going to see things. And if you forget that you're an incredible badass, you're going to be afraid of projections of your own negativity instead of commanding it. Shout out to those of you who watch Demon Slayer. I'm going to reference Blue Exorcist. In Blue Exorcist, you can summon familiars, right? And normally these familiars are like demons, or they could be gods. It doesn't matter. But they connect with your spirit. If they sense that you weak and you're not confident in yourself, the familiars you summon will attack you. How dare you summon us? What the fuck is wrong with you? Versus if you snap back and be like, hey, do you know who I am? Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So just remember, everything emits from inside you. And actually, let me just be careful about how I say that. But as far as, what you express, don't necessarily be too caught up in illusions that try and evoke fear. Anyone or anything that has to use fear to convince you of anything is a liar. Okay? That doesn't mean they have to use love, because that's another deception. It's all about truth, period. Anyway, like Pontius Pilate said to Jesus, what is truth? And over the next few days, if you're not yet sure, you'll be enlightened. I hope y'all enjoy this period. Scoff at, insecurities projected at you because they come from a place of hate. You above that. All right? Keep shining. Keep killing it. And until next time, Godspeed.